Hello, welcome back to Ask Allison. So today's question is, how do you handle a bad landlord? I'd like to thank TherapyNotes for sponsoring us. So first, I want you to see if you can find a thread in a forum or talk to a friend who's an attorney about where you can look up tenants' rights for commercial properties. Some areas, cities, states are more protective of the tenant and some are more protective of the owner. So first, you're gonna have to do some research and know your rights. Revisit your lease, know it well. Sometimes we think the landlord is doing something they shouldn't be doing when that thing actually falls in our lap. Like I've talked to somebody who they had, I don't know, some sort of either rats or roaches or something that you don't want. And they didn't realize that pest control was under their rights and responsibilities list in their lease. So before you go full throttle with this situation, make sure you're clear on who's responsible for what. Keep a log of your grievances and the ways that you've addressed them. Like it could be in the notes section of your phone. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just needs to be thorough and accurate. If possible, put it all in writing. Email your problems rather than calling, for instance. If calling is required, like document it as you're talking so that you're clear on what you said, what they said, the date, the time, all of it. Come at things with your landlord with facts, not emotions. And that we tend to be pretty emotionally driven as therapists. So you maybe write a first draft that includes like how you would normally talk about it, but you might need to step back. So an example would be, it's 53 degrees in my office. It's impacting my ability to do my job. I need the heat to be turned on in the building immediately. Instead of, it's so cold in here, my clients can't concentrate. If you make accommodations to make your situation better, document those. So like if you have to bring in blankets for your office or a space heater, include that in your documentation, but there's not necessarily a need to let your landlord know you're doing all these things. Because if they're not doing their job, you don't want them to think they can put that off longer. Do not threaten to break your lease or threaten to get legal counsel unless you're gonna do it. Your landlord owns a building. They likely have the means to defend themselves or drag you through a lot of legal proceedings. So if it's clear negligence and you have the means or you have an attorney who's willing to take on your case, go for it, but don't let a jerk with a power trip bankrupt your business. I wish, honestly, that this was not a question I get so often. I had 3 versions of this question in our queue for Ask Allison, which I find very sad and disturbing. And I wish that so many of us weren't having to deal with that. I forget how hard that is. I'm in a situation that works out really well for me now. And I forget how that does kind of like just put a stink on coming into work or paying your rent. It just is this unpleasant thing. I mean, the obvious answer is also get out as soon as your lease is up, but I'm sure you thought of that already. So yeah, if you guys need any help building your practice, we actually have some like lease negotiation stuff in the What to Say When course in the Abundance Party. So if you need some help on the front end of getting into a lease, come and join us over in the Abundance Party. It teaches you everything you need to know about building a practice. And if you have any questions for Ask Allison, I'd love to answer them. Shoot me an email over at ask@abundancepracticebuilding.com. Take care.